Hey, good morning, everyone. We are a little bit early today. It is 7:52 in the morning on this August 18th, Thursday. Thank you for joining this Facebook Live. I'm Kwon. Before we get started, of course, don't forget you can always watch this later throughout the day if you want to get caught up, or maybe you know someone else who's looking for something like this. They can find that just by going to our InForum YouTube channel or on your favorite podcast platform. You can also find it just by going to inforum.com/podcasts and then clicking on InForum Minute. Okay, right away, we wanted to let you know that we now know the names of the two women who were hurt in a crash off of I-94 in Moorhead yesterday. So we know that the driver is 57-year-old Shiraq Ahmed, passenger is 24-year-old Ikram Sharif. Both women are from Moorhead. This crash all happened at around 6:30 last night. And we learned from troopers that Ahmed lost control of the car, went into the ditch, and then hit the freeway wall. The good news here is both of them are expected to be okay, but they did have to go to the hospital to get treated for some of their injuries. So wanted to give you that update. We also are working to learn right now if two people are going to be facing some charges in a stabbing case near a South Fargo gas station. We're also trying to figure out, how that victim is doing this morning. So this all happened right outside the Exxon gas station, just off of 13th Avenue South, right after 9 last night. And we saw one person getting handcuffed and taken into custody. We also saw an ambulance leave with its lights and sirens on. But we don't know yet how badly that victim was hurt. We have not heard from officers just yet, but we do have a message into them right now to try to get some of that information for you, and we'll let you know as soon as we hear back from them. Also today, the Fargo School Board, they are set to have a special meeting today, and this all has to do with, whether they're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance before their meetings. Now, if you remember, we've been telling you here on WDAY, First News, that those board members decided to not do that, and they voted on not doing that last week because some of those board members are saying, they believe that the Pledge of Allegiance goes against the district's diversity code. Well, this whole issue, this matter has really sparked a lot of controversy both here locally and nationally, and they're going to be having that meeting today as a special meeting for the school board to decide if maybe that's something that they'll reconsider before their meetings or whatnot. So it's going to be a whole debate, and we'll definitely let you know what happens in our evening newscast. That special meeting is going to be taking place at 6 o'clock. So more updates to come tonight on WDAY. Also today, I wanted to let you know really quick, construction crews in Moorhead are going to be finishing up some of their work on I-94, and that of course could come with some delays. So drivers going west just east of the Highway 336 interchange, there's going to be a lane that's going to be closed down, and the lane's going to be shifted there at the Main Avenue and 34th Street interchange, which of course could impact some drivers when you're trying to get off onto 34th Street. So the changes are all needed right now just to make sure that these crews can finish some of their work. And we also know, really quick, alternating lane closures on Highway 10 and Center Avenue as well. So some lane closures today in Moorhead, but it shouldn't be anything too bad. Also, right now, I wanted to let you know about a scam that's going around, and we're hearing this from the Cass County Sheriff's Office, and they say that the scammer is actually saying that they work for the Cass County Sheriff's Office. So deputies say that the caller is posing as a sergeant, and they're calling people and saying that they are in contempt of court for failing to appear for a case. And then they're also requesting a $4,000 bond or they'll get arrested. So the scammer is using that same number from the Cass County Sheriff's Office, but then they ask you to call back on a different number. So it's pretty obvious there that, it could be a red flag. So again, just a reminder, guys, deputies will never ask you for bond money over the phone. That only can be paid in cash at the county courthouse. So if you get something like that, it's a scam, hang up and don't get involved. All right, starting today, big changes coming to downtown Fargo. This is something that we've also stayed on top of for a little while now. But the city's new rideshare ordinance is going into effect today. And so that, of course, is going to impact, people who take Ubers or Lyfts, even cabs. So there's kind of a lot to go over here, so bear with me as I go over everything. But there's going to be 4 spots spread through the downtown Fargo area. And there's also another one on the way, so there's more spots coming. But so these rideshare areas, or zones, loading zones, I guess you could call them. The first one's going to be on NP Ave, right in front of Sports Bar. And then there's going to be one on 1st Avenue North, right in front of the Forum building. Can't really miss that one. And then there's 2nd Avenue North, right in front of the Fargo VFW. And then 6th Avenue North, right behind the First Lutheran Church. Now, just a few seconds ago, I said there's going to be another location coming. That's going to be set up right in front of the Radisson. But right now, there's some construction that's going on. So once that gets done, that new location or zoning area, or loading area, I should say, will be put into place. Okay, so here are the rules. Uber drivers or Lyft drivers, anyone driving for rideshare services, right? You're only going to be allowed to park in those new spots for 10 minutes. And if you stay longer than that, you could get fined $20. Cab drivers, though, there's no time limit. Cabs can be out there for as long as they want. And also, this is very similar to, I kind of had this like correlation. You know when you go to the airport and you're dropping someone off or you're picking someone up and you have to stay in your car, you can't just like leave your car parked and then go inside and find them. It's kind of like the same thing. All of these drivers are not allowed to get out of their cars and leave it parked with no one in it, basically. So very similar to what you would see typically at an airport, but wanted to let you know about those big changes coming to downtown Fargo today. Also today in Fargo, Youthworks is helping some children in need stock up on some new clothes for free, of course, as the new school year is literally just around the corner. So if you want to take part in its annual clothing giveaway, you can go to Dakota High School in Fargo from 4 to 8 tonight. It's all going to be in the gym there. So during the first hour, students can kind of have their pick at what they want for clothes, and then starting at 5, families and everyone else can look through those items. So wanted to let you know if you know someone who might be interested in this giveaway. Okay. Grand Forks Downtown Street Fair is about 24 hours away, actually way less than, but we wanted to let you know parking restrictions will start today. So South 3rd Street, Kitson Avenue, and South 4th Street are all going to be blocked off for the fair. If your car is left in those areas, it's going to be towed, and that would be after noon today. So if it's there, you know, at 12:01 p.m., it's possible that your car could get towed, and don't say I never told you so. Street parking will reopen, though, Saturday night at 9, and just to let you know, if you didn't know this already, there is a parking garage on either side of Demers, and you can park there for free if you're there for less than 2 hours, so kind of nice if you didn't know that. Okay, nationally, we wanted to let you know, right now, the University of Minnesota is working with some public health leaders, and they're working on testing for monkeypox and polio in wastewater. So researchers, of course, they haven't found monkeypox in the Twin Cities just yet, but they do say that this testing kind of gives the state an early warning system. So a doctor in charge of this program also says that they plan to start beta testing polio screenings starting next week. And we know that, you know, a lot of these researchers have been using wastewater levels to detect COVID and track COVID. So kind of cool that they're now able to use that to test for things like monkeypox and polio as well. Also wanted to let you know right now that the CDC is looking for the source of E. coli because more than 24 people have gotten sick from it. So these illnesses all started between July 26th and August 6th, and they've really been limited to Michigan and Ohio. So far, we know 29 people have confirmed infections. 9 of them even had to go to the hospital. So the CDC says genetic markers on the bacteria show that all of the patients likely had, you know, similar food or are eating the exact same food. So the agency right now is saying, if you have symptoms, call your healthcare provider and then make sure you write down what you ate in the previous week so they can really figure out what is causing this E. coli outbreak. Also, White House is saying that, you know, we could have enough monkeypox vaccines to fully vaccinate target populations by late next month. So if you didn't know, the vaccine does need 2 doses in order for a person to be fully vaccinated against monkeypox. Well, the response coordinator says by that time frame, you know, public health leaders should have enough to give, you know, 1.6 million people that second dose. Of course, this is going to go to the states that need them the most first. So think like New York and California, Illinois, and then it'll be distributed to states that also need them. Airbnb is taking some action to cut down on parties and property damage. This is something that we've also talked about a little bit on First News. But right now, we know that the company is testing out some new tools that actually screen people, and that whole process determines if that person is a high-risk candidate in the U.S. Then it would assess these requests by looking at factors including the length of stay and past reviews from owners. And if they are deemed high risk, then they would be prevented from booking entire homes. So they said that this technology has already been tested in Australia, and they saw some positive results. They saw a 35% reduction in parties in Australia when they were testing that. So kind of cool, and also their latest effort to crack down on these parties. All right, Hot Mic with Dom Izzo, 9 to 11, WDAY Extra, InForum.com. Today is a really special day on Hot Mic because it's actually not from 9 to 11 today. It's from 9 to noon. It's a 3-hour long special. And this is kind of interesting. So if you play fantasy football, this one is one that you might want to tune into because you can actually see like a mock draft from our own WDAY league. We've never actually had something like this before. I am not included in this because I don't do this, but got a lot of people from our WDAY team who are going to be taking part in this mock, NFL fantasy draft, and this is the first year of WDAY's own league, so kind of fun. Again, 3-hour long special this time. It's going to be going from 9 to noon, so make sure you join everyone. It's going to be a fun show. All right, InForum.com, we had this on First News as well. Trey Lance is in Minnesota right now, and he's practicing, and, of course, the preseason game's coming up with the Vikings and the 49ers, but he's not going to be playing. All the details you can find right now on InForum.com. Really interesting and really cool. I mean, spoiler alert, we just learned that a lot of people and players from Marshall, Minnesota just got on this bus and went to where Trey Lance is practicing right now at the Vikings camp to watch him, which I think is so cool. So I don't know. Yeah, if you are interested in more of the details, you can definitely find that right now on InForum.com. All right. Also, before we go, wanted to let you know you can get your first 3 months of an all-access pass, basically, to InForum.com for just 99 cents a month. So if you are interested in that offer, you can just go on InForum.com/subscribe. All right, everybody, that is it for your Thursday. We'll be back here tomorrow morning. But in the meantime, you got news at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 on the news leader. Of course, the Fargo School Board meeting is going to be a really big talker tonight. You can expect lots of updates on WDAY. All right, everybody, we'll see you back here tomorrow morning, 5 to 7. Have a great day.